How much history do you think would be made if you were to elect the first black man to be represented an independent left party in Britain? How much history would that be? You can elect black people to the Tory party and the Labour party every day of the week if you want. There are plenty of them out there. No change will occur. You see, when I walk in my African gown with my big Rastafari stick into the Houses of Parliament, it won't be Black Rod that is banging on that door. It'll be Lee Jasper that takes it off his hinges, because I'll be there to do a job and represent. I'm not in this for a career. This is my vocation. This is what I've been born to do. My wife's in the audience. She'll tell you I do this whether I've got money or no money. She'll say that money is the least of your priorities. In fact, everybody will tell you around here that I will give it away till I haven't got any in order to continue to do what I do. So for me, it's a passion and a vocation. We've got a massive slice of history to make here. I need you to decide you're going to opt into the Respect campaign in Croydon in order to make history here. Let me tell you a bit about what we're going to propose. Lower the voting age to 16. As in these kids, right? They go to jail for murder, they join the army and go and so on. They can have babies, but they can't vote. These kids are old enough to make their own decisions about the politics that they want and the politics of their leaders. And let's face it, so what if they get it wrong? No, you know, 90% of the country have got it wrong in the last 30, 40 years. So why shouldn't they have the equality of getting their democratic choice slightly wrong? Over £100 million a year of confiscated assets from criminals. Where does that money go? Where does that money go? Over 100 million a year. Where is that? It's not taxpayers' money. This is money we've taken off the bad guys. Where does it go? It goes straight to the Home Office. They spend it as they say fit. You know what my view is? If you've got a crack house in Croydon North, then take the money from that crack dealer, turn it into a community centre, buy computers, put it where it's needed, and back the community. We're offering, and you know what we're saying to the young people? We're saying, come into the Respect Youth Empowerment classes now. So I can get people like Viv, I can get people like Vas Blackwood who are going to tell you how to get to Hollywood. I can get people like English Frank to tell you how to break into the music industry. I can bring Peter Herbert from the Society of Black Lawyers. I can bring Agile and he can say, this is how we took over our council to make sure his council is now not suffering any cuts to their youth service because they're protecting that budget. We can show our young people what the model is like for them to take power. Now if there's something that we need to do, is give our young people that sense of hope and aspiration. Right. Are you with me on that policy? You do that's right. Okay. The other thing we're going to do is look at the parking restrictions. Why is it that in town you're getting a 30-minute free special pass from the Tories to go and do your shopping, but on London Road, if a fly lands on a rotten banana, have parking wardens there 2 seconds to give it a ticket? Why is that? Why are poor areas subject to draconian parking restrictions where businesses are starting to thrive, trying to make money, and yet in town centres they're getting the special parking conditions? I'll tell you why. Because this is the neglected north in a rich Croydon borough. That's what we are, the neglected north right here. We don't get the investment from this Tory council and these councillors. Let me ask you this. Where's the compensation for those businesses on London Road? How long does it take, Boris, to write a cheque for people whose livelihoods have been destroyed? And yet, as we speak, those businesses are still filling forms in triplicate, trying to access money that should have been designated as a riot and therefore give them instant access. He came down here with his broom. Was he down here with the broom? It's Clapham, wasn't it? Clapham Junction with the broom. We're going to sweep up. You know, I thought I was watching a Mary Poppins movie and people were going to jump out with slim chimney sweep. He was going to give those. Remember, I will make sure, I will sweat blood to make sure that these people get their money on time. Boris said that to you, didn't he?
Still waiting.
You're still waiting for that money. You're still waiting for that money. I will take the campaign to get Boris. I'll tell you what, you will let me, you write the check the next day. You will let me, that check's written the next day. Because such is the power that we'll infuse into this campaign. We're talking about, we've got more policies on housing, on environment. Big supporter of cycling. You know, I want to make sure that I'm a cycler myself. I want to make sure that people who ride bikes are safe, that we've got pathways, that schools are teaching cycling safety. Let me ask you another question. We've got all these community centres closing down and library. We've got one of the biggest resources in every individual community. It's called a school. Why is it open from 9:30 generally to 4 and then closed at the weekends and so on? We've got kids wandering around looking for something to do. We've got adults who want to take adult education classes somewhere where they live. Our policy is that those schools should be 24/7 schools. They should be open from 6 o'clock in the morning. They should be providing free lunches for those poor kids. And in the evening, if you want to take an adult class or your child wants to pursue football, why is that football pitch locked? Why is there a gate padlock on it? We want to open the schools, make them community centred in the real sense of the word. And because we're losing stuff from public sector, opening the community schools in the way that I've described will put community resources in every individual constituency in the borough.